The outdoors are full of all sorts of exciting things to do, and I hope you're into nature and all things that the wild has to offer, because on this episode of Chill Spot, we'll be visiting J. Charles Swaby's Black River Safari. That's right, we'll be hanging out with the crocodiles, but we'll also be hanging out with Kerry-Ann Stimpson, Group Marketing Manager at JMMB. So don't go anywhere, more Chill Spot after this. Hi, Kerry.
Hi, Candy.
Good to see you.
This is my husband, Stuart.
Hi, Stuart. Candy, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
So, Kerry, what makes you choose the Black River Safari as your chill spot?
Well, it's far from Kingston and it's different and it's a perfect place to just really chill. Sit back, relax and enjoy. It's great.
And what are the activities that we're going to be doing today?
Well, we're going to basically just be going on a ride on the boat down the river, see what the view is like, look at the ecosystem that exists here.
Okay, and the crocs aren't going to eat me?
No.
Or try to bite me?
They look kind of dangerous. I wouldn't suggest you jump in and have a swim, right? But you'll be fine. You'll be fine. They're kind of used to the visitors coming.
Okay.
Okay, Candy, ready?
I'm ready.
Let's go.
Assuming no crocodiles eat me.
We're good. Mr. Swaby,
Hi,
thank you for
how are
having
you?
us again here
Definitely,
today.
it's my pleasure.
And I'd like to introduce you to my friend Candy.
Hi, Mrs.
How are
Swaby.
you?
Nice to meet you.
too.
Excited for the tour.
Good. I'm sure you'll enjoy.
All right, let's go. So, Mr. Swaby, tell me about the Black River Safari. How long has it been around, and talk to us a little about the tour?
The Black River Safari was actually started in 1987, which was when we formed our company. And our first tour went out on the 17th of January 1988.
Wow.
And since then, we have been taking visitors up the river, basically from all over the world, from Europe, from Africa, from the Caribbean, from England, everywhere.
Okay, and what can we anticipate to see as we go up the river?
Well, you'll be seeing animals like that, crocodiles in their natural habitat, although lying on a dock isn't all that natural anymore. But you'll see them lying all about. You'll see birds, as you can see. We have some egrets there as well. And it's something that people look forward to seeing. It's a little different from just the sea, sand and sun of the north coast. This is the south coast.
What about the impact on the community here? Do you hire a lot of persons from the Black River community?
This tour has done a lot for the economy of the area. All of our workers are from, I would say, a radius of 5 miles of Black River. And one has to bear in mind that when visitors come here, they have lunch here at one or more of the restaurants. There are vendors who sell craft items, people who sell coconuts,
Right.
and there are the gas stations from which the buses that bring them here fill up their
Right,
tanks
right,
to go back and so on. So it has benefited the whole of the community.
And then what about the ecosystem of this area?
Well, I think that what has happened is that people have started to look at crocodile in a different light. Before this, everybody was terrified about crocodiles, and for no real reason. Now they're seeing that crocodiles are not just going to gobble you up,
Right.
and that people will come and see these crocodiles time and time again. There are people who come and do the tours, and they send us back cards asking how is Big George or how is Charlie and so on. Our captains name the different animals, you know.
Okay.
So that is one of the good things about it.
Well, so far it seems very peaceful and serene, so I'm excited to see the activity as we...
Yes, you'll enjoy it. It's a little bit warm now, so you'll not see as many birds as you normally would when
Right.
it's cooler in the afternoon or early morning. But it's sunning time for the crocodiles now,
Right.
so hopefully we should be seeing
Well,
some of
we
those.
saw quite a few already.
Oh yes, and I'm
Sure
sure
we'll
you
be
enjoyed that.
Do you have any idea about how many crocodiles would be in this water?
There are possibly about 300
Wow.
adults in this area. Market, this is about 8,000 acres of land.
So, Stuart, how are you enjoying the tour so far?
It's nice. Having a good time. It's very cool, relaxing, and I suppose you're on a river like this. It's very serene. So, you know, it takes your
Very
mind
peaceful.
to an easier spot. Hustle and bustle of a regular day.
So, Kerry, what's your interest in wildlife?
Well, I'm going to be very honest with you. I don't have much of a heavy interest in wildlife. But why I would like a place like this is not so much for the wildlife, but because it's very different and unique. You know,
Right.
typically when you think of getting away, especially you live on the stereotypical island of Jamaica,
Right.
it's beaches, and sun, sand, and sea.
Right.
This is quite different, and because it's different, it tends to do a better job, I think, of kind of transporting you to another place where you can really just get away from it all. And it's nice. I just love it.
That's exactly how I feel actually. Coming up, what would you say drives you to do what you do?
I'm very goal oriented. What really turns me on, I should say, is just the opportunity to get a target and hit it and
Right.
check the box.
So Kerry, you're currently the Group Marketing Manager for JMMB. Tell us a little about what led to this role. What other jobs have you had previously?
Well, I've always been in marketing, and I've always actually been largely in marketing in the financial services
Okay.
sector. So DBNG would have been my first major foray into that, the former Daring Bunting and Golding.
Right.
And then after that, I was with First Global, the part of the Grace Kennedy Group. And while at First Global, I saw this opportunity at JMMB
Right.
and applied, and
The rest is history. And what would you say your role as Group Marketing Manager actually entails on a day-to-day?
Well, on a day-to-day, I mean, of course, it can be anything, but generally, my responsibility is managing marketing for the group, which entails not just the Jamaican market, but also oversight into the Dominican Republic and Trinidad, where we also have a presence.
Okay.
With the support of a great team, of course.
Are there any projects that you'd like to mention that you've worked on?
Well, quite a few. I mean, too many to mention. I mean, the past year has been especially busy for us. You know, we launched a new campaign last year, Easy as JMMB, and our agency won quite a few awards for
Okay.
the campaign, and we're very happy about that. And we are known for planning a lot of unique events as well, as a way of educating everybody about financial planning and financial management. So experiential type events that educate people about not just finances but about life as well.
And what about any upcoming projects? Would you like to share any of those with us?
Well, don't want to give away too much of the goods, but we are going through a lot as an organization. As we would have shared, our intention is to move into the commercial banking space in Jamaica eventually once we get the requisite approval, but also in the Dominican Republic and Trinidad. There's a lot going on there as well. We're rebranding our commercial bank in Trinidad to become JMMB Bank, and there's a lot going on, so we're quite busy.
Okay, and what about any achievements or awards that you've received?
I actually don't even keep a checklist too often.
Okay, well, I guess when you get so much, you don't have to keep a checklist.
Perhaps not as much as I'd like. But when we do win, as I mentioned earlier, advertising awards and campaign awards, that's always gratifying.
Right.
But for me, it's really about the day-to-day targets that we set and how we hit them.
Right.
So whenever you do something and you see it reflected in the awareness of the brand and people's affection to the brand, to me, that's the ultimate satisfaction to know that what you're doing is working.
What would you say you look forward to the most about your job?
It's the creativity part, for sure. Just the opportunity to just get a blank slate and just come up with something completely out of the blue that's unique, that's distinct, and really makes the brand stand out. That's what gets me excited about my job every single time.
Talk to us about your team and how you would describe yourself as a manager.
I've really been blessed with a great team and we have a great relationship. For me, as a leader, yes, there's the traditional definition of what a leader is, but specifically I see myself as an enabler of the team's success. So it's really about allowing them to be the best that they can be, remove roadblocks, and just provide the necessary guidance, coaching, access to resources that they need to just be the best that they can be. And I think it's worked very well.
What would you say drives you to do what you do?
I'm very goal-oriented, and what really turns me on, I should say, is just the opportunity to get a target and hit it and check the box. For me, unchecked boxes make me very nervous, and so I'm very driven by the opportunity to just
smash a goal.
Absolutely, absolutely. That's what works for me. And once I hit the goal, nothing could be sweeter.
Do you have any other professional pursuits right now?
Unfortunately, not at the moment, but I do get to do some kinds of community service work as well, through church-based organizations and so on, every now and again, and through my alma mater, high school. So from time to time I get to do that, but that's it for now.
So with all of that going on, how do you manage to balance your time?
I'm going to be very honest with you. I don't say I balance my time. I really just make it work, right? Because balancing suggests that you can do it all.
But you are doing it all.
I just don't call it balance because, at some point something has to give.
Right.
And so invariably there are days when you're at the desk, the phone is ringing and you get a call that your 2-year-old has a 104-degree temperature and you need to come now.
You have to go.
That's it. The work stops. You go to the child and vice versa. There are nights I won't even get to put them to bed because I'm working late. But it's about giving yourself the permission to know that, hey, that's how it is. You give, you take, and it's just doing what you have to do to make it work, and we make it work.
And what would you say are your professional goals for the future?
Well, professionally for the future, I do continue to see myself in a marketing role, in a senior capacity. I believe that once my kids get older and a little bit more independent, my dream job actually is to teach. I come from a line of teachers, so I believe teaching is in my blood. And so if I do get the opportunity to do that part-time or on the weekends, however that works, I would really love to do that in the future as well.
And what one tip would you give to others who are aspiring to be in a position like yours?
I would say it's about working hard enough to stand out. You know, and standing out doesn't necessarily always mean that you get the highest grades in the class, although that always helps. But it's about defining your personal brand and throwing 110% behind everything that you're doing. Because once you stand out and once people remember you for something and something that's good and something that's positive, then it really makes the journey that much easier for you whatever trajectory you decide to take off on.
Well, that's very insightful, and I like what you said about being a teacher, because I can tell that you're an excellent communicator just having this discussion with you.
Thank you, Kim.
But that being said, I think lunch is up next.
Absolutely. Let's go.
Coming up. Talk to us about Stuart. How did you guys meet? Or maybe I should ask Stuart that question. How did you guys meet?
A Bible study.
I needed to make sure that what he's saying is accurate. Eh?
He's doing well
Okay,
so far.
all right.
He knows he has to go home.
All right, Kerry, so we want to discuss a little about your personal life. Before we get to the juicy stuff, because it looks like there are some juicy things, let's talk about how you were raised and where you were raised.
Born and raised in Kingston. I have a great mom and dad, and I am one of two girls. I'm actually the older of two girls.
Okay.
I have a baby sister. She's 2 years younger than I am.
Okay, and talk to us about Stuart. How did you guys meet? Or maybe I should ask Stuart that question. How did you guys meet?
A Bible study.
Is that...
On the 3rd of March 1998.
I needed to make sure that what he's saying is accurate. Eh?
He's doing well
Okay,
so far.
all right.
He knows he has to go home.
All right, and what other details can you tell us about that?
Essentially, that day her true self came out. Very warm, engaging, and she had us chatting for easily, I feel like I was on profile, for about 45 minutes. And I was leaving, a friend of mine said, I think she liked you. And I said, no, she couldn't. A big woman, she could like me. And then history, rest is history.
So wait, you're actually older than he is?
Just
Just by a few. Just by a
He
few.
likes older women, I like
Well, that works out.
Totally works.
And how long have you guys been married now?
May will be 10 years.
10 years?
10 years.
Can I tell by looking?
I can't, I really can't. So you have children.
Yes. We
Tell us
have
about them.
2 little girls, Hannah and Sarah. They're 4 and 2, respectively.
No, they're going to be 5 and 3. That's what I wanted.
Yes,
All right,
they'll be
that's
5 and 3 this year.
more
Their
accurate.
birthdays are
And
coming
they-
up and they're counting it down.
Yes, and they keep us on our toes, to say the least.
And knees if you have to pray. So
And I know I spoke to Kerry a little bit about this earlier, but as a couple, how would you say you guys manage the work life and the family life and whichever other lives you guys may have?
the alter egos. I don't know.
Maybe. I don't know.
Well, I think many years ago I remember working in a firm and this particular partner in the firm gave me very sage advice. He said he booked his family time like meetings.
Okay.
So he decided that, listen, you have standing appointments and you're just not available. So for example, I have a standing Monday appointment,
Okay.
which, well, up until now, it's going to move to Thursday because that's ballet class for older
Okay.
people, which my job is to do pickups for that ballet class. So
Right.
it's blocked in my diary, it's 3 p.m.
Right.
So if I'm doing something else, it's just not a convenient date,
Right.
not a convenient time.
Right.
And I think what we try to do is work pretty long hours. So there's some days you just call it because it's a meeting and it's not available. And you may run the long hours and you see only the pajamas and the shadows in the bed. But she decided, okay, on Friday evening we're going to get home at a proper hour and we're having family time.
Okay.
And I think the other balance is we try to have time for us. You know, so there's ideal planned trips that we'll take. You know,
Right.
get a
Family
weekend
trips.
and family trips and trips for us to
And
regroup.
us
To
to-
have,
Oh, okay.
I think the family depends on us being husband and wife first.
Right, right.
To be able then to be good parents. So you have to, if it's just mommy alone and not wife, it's going
Right.
to be a problem.
Right.
Because they're going to get old and leave, we hope.
Yeah.
So
We hope.
That's very important. Date nights, weekends away. We have no issue leaving the kids in the capable
two
hands
nice
of
grannies.
grandmothers, God bless them, willing and able, and we do our thing because
It's necessary,
that
yeah.
base and that foundation has to be maintained because if it's not there, everything else can kind of fall around.
So what else do you guys like to do for fun?
I like photography. Years ago, she used to be willing to be the subject. Now she
Right.
complains. But so I find other subjects, and then I tell her, you know, she has to be careful because they're willing for me to shoot them. And I need to get back into what I do like, which is cycling. But I had a bad accident, and I have to get the nerve to start again.
Okay.
But those
Right.
are my two other events.
Is there anything else for you?
Well, for me, I kind of have I try to have a standing arrangement with summer camps.
Okay.
So Moorlands camps, which is pretty popular, based in Manchester. I
Right.
try to do a week of that every year, work and life allowing.
Oh,
and
that's
it gives
nice.
me a great opportunity to be with really teens, young adults, and it's really my thing that I look forward to. I went as a child, as a
Right.
teenager.
I
love
did
giving
too.
back. Really?
I did too.
Yeah, Moorlands is the bomb. So
Yeah.
I give back every year as best as I can.
Everybody remembers their Moorlands experience, let me just tell you. Kerry, what would you say is the most out-of-the-box thing you've ever done?
Well, I hope I'm not disappointing because I'm really a bit of a scaredy cat. So I wouldn't say
As am I.
I haven't bungee jumped off a bridge or anything.
Right.
But for me, I actually did a trip around Europe by myself once.
By yourself?
By myself, me and my backpack.
How old are you when you did that?
I was in my mid-20s, as far as I can recall. I mean, at the time I wasn't married, I had no children.
Right.
Summertime was here and I had this ton of leave backed up and I said, you know,
I'm
let's
gonna
do
go.
Europe.
Right.
Absolutely. So I jumped on a plane and booked flights, did tours, walked up and down with my little camera. You know, and saw awesome things. Did Paris, did Amsterdam.
Oh, that's lovely.
You know, the traditional London and Geneva. It was
lovely.
great. It was great. It was a great experience and something I treasure to this day.
And we'll never forget, I'm sure.
Never. So I would say, you know, because people, why I say it's out of the box, because you go to Europe by yourself.
By yourself, exactly.
You need to share that with someone.
Right.
But for me, it was a dream of mine, and just doing it was took some amount of boldness. But you know, I never felt alone because it was always about being on a train and striking up a conversation with somebody.
Right.
You know, meeting other tourists who were themselves were exploring and sharing experiences
Right.
together, and you'd never see them again. So
And people actually do that all the time, the Europe thing by themselves. I'm sure you met other people who were...
I certainly
doing the
did.
same
I
thing.
certainly did. So it really was a memorable trip. So I would
Fantastic.
say for me that was the hallmark.
Well, Kerry, thank you so much for sharing your very unique chill spot with us today. It was lovely getting to see the crocodiles and enjoying a nice safari on the Black River. Of course, it was a pleasure meeting Stuart and hearing about your family and your job, so thank you very much.
You're welcome, Candy. Thank you so much for giving us this opportunity and for coming along with us.
Fabulous. We've come to the end of another great episode of Chill Spot. Today we visited J. Charles Swaby's Black River Safari while chilling with Kerry-Ann Stimpson, Group Marketing Manager at JMMB. I hope you guys had fun and learned a thing or two. Until next Friday, I'm Candy for Chill Spot. Bye. So, Kerry, we're going to be heading back to, what we call it, land? What we call it? Heading back to the dock. That's the word I'm looking for. Ready? And talk to us about Stuart. How did you guys meet? Or maybe I should ask Stuart that question. How did you guys meet?
A Bible study. The 3rd of March 1998.
I needed to make sure that what he's saying is accurate. Eh?
He's doing well
Okay,
so far.
all right.
He knows he has to go home. Be sure to join us at 8 p.m. right here on BATV. I'm sorry, guys.